Hello, this is our second recording, Economics 210 Labor Economics, which will be focused on first test, some comments, general comments about the test, and second assignment, which is in a month, exactly in a month. The deadline in a month, and about the topic 4, investing in human capital. First, let me tell you a few things about the first assessment. It took me quite a long time to explain what is that test about. A lot of people complained, not a lot, but few people complained about few questions that they were beyond our curriculum. I accepted that. The basic assumption for that test, as I mentioned on multiple occasions, was to see how you are dealing, what is your background in economics, how you are dealing with a subject that it is more focused on particular, in our case, labor market, and how you would be dealing with questions that they are not specifically from your textbook. Meaning that you would need to read readings and look for another source that can help understanding of this. That's one thing. Another thing is that at the beginning, when I've read about those complaints, I was a bit worried that you were not up to the challenges of this subject and that you might struggle. And then I was very pleasantly surprised by the results. Some people scored 90%, 85 or something like that, 80% or something like that. And in general, although I accepted that 2 questions might be slightly beyond our curriculum at that time, and I credited every single one with 2 questions. The overwhelming impression was that your complaints were not 100% warranted. Anyway, now it's over. And based on those good results, we have now second assignment coming up, which would be last before the exam. Another thing that I want to say about the first test is it was intentionally very hard. Some people find it very hard. Why intentionally? I would rather you to have, sort of to scare you at the beginning and then to push you a little bit further out of your comfort zone and to prepare yourself for the exam. Instead of having a light test, easy test, which would give you wrong impression that, oh well, I don't need to do much, this is very easy, I can do all tests without any extra readings or any work, and then hit the wall at the exam. That's one thing. Having said that, the other thing is that those tests or assignments before the exam, we can do whatever we want and whatever we need to do about them. For example, as in the first test, credited 2 questions, no problems. Some people ask for the extension, no problems. For the exam, we can't do anything. You are there, you do it or not. So instead of having, oh yeah, it's easy, easy peasy, Japanesey, nice and subject, I will pass or get whatever grade, so I don't need to worry, I don't need to work. No, I want you to work, I want you to take it seriously, and I want you to work for any question, or regardless of if it is in the curriculum or not outside of the curriculum. Mainly, most are related to the curriculum, regardless of your textbook or not, and a particular page that you were expecting in your textbook. But to be honest, I don't care which page is what. And so yeah, that was about the first test. The second assignment, I have that in front of me. It's as with the first test, it's serious work. I would strongly suggest you start working immediately. For example, last question in the part B is about topic 4, investing in human capital. So you can start working on it. First question, part B, it's an essay that you have to write approximately 1,500 words about it. And it's about labor, female participation, and the wage gap. You can find a lot of resources and a lot of data. For example, Australian Bureau of Statistics keep those data, and you can track those data and write about the trend in female participation rate in the labor force and the wage gap, which was gender wage gap, which is you will notice that it is reduced. So it's and as with all of our work here, you can find a lot of help on our library site about writing essay and referencing and all other things that you need to know to write a good essay. You have to, from your perspective, talking from your perspective, you have to follow the structure of the essay. You will see in those supporting files at the library site and referencing, you have to follow the structure, the normal structure for an essay. For example, introduction, about the topic in general, you repeat what is written here, and then the body of the essay and conclusion, and at the end references. Particularly when you will see a referencing style supporting file, what is required for good referencing, and the style that you have to follow. So go on the library site, our university's library site, and see those 2-3 files that would help you with writing an essay. It's, about this. If you are, as I gathered, that most of you are working in the labor force, you already know about those two issues: increasing female participation rate, what are the reasons behind, and reduction of gender wage gap. It's still not, as you will find out, still not reached the equality point that wage is for females and male the same, for the same qualification and experience, but it is reduced. And through the general knowledge and through the news and newspapers, you know that there's been a lot of discussion about gender wage gap and measures to reduce it and government's initiative to reduce it. Going further down to the short answer questions, you have to, for the first question, you are asked to write a brief report. Each question should be maximum 1,000 words. For the first, you have to write a brief report on the drivers of structural changes in the Australian labour market, and to outline the impact of at least 5 drivers on skills shortages in Australia, and assuming that the labour demand and population growth remain constant. So you will have to use the tools of demand and supply to discuss in your report. Then question 2 is technology and work have been tied together. You have to briefly outline how the changing technology impacting internal labour market. You know that in labour market there are 2 labour markets: internal labour market, meaning within an organization that there is internal labour market characteristics like ladder, how you are promoted, entry point, exit point, and which is in our textbook dual market, labour market hypothesis, so-called. An external market, meaning external to in relation to the organization. And the third question is about human capital. Again, you have to write about identifying cost and benefit from a social perspective from investing in human capital, and why it is necessary to determine the present value in making decision to invest in human capital or not. On that note, in your textbook, this topic is more about theory of investing in human capital. The readings and some other books or some other resources you will find much more specific that you can find out in more details, not just about like in our textbook, like about some theory and theorizing about investing in human capital or not investing, but practical examples that might be helpful for this last question. Knowing what is going to be for your exam, and that you can check sample exam in the subject outline, those 2, first test and the second test, should equip you very well for the final exam. And that second test, as I think, is the last one, so you don't have many assessment units before the exam, but those 2 are, cut to the core of the final exam. For the final exam, the best thing is to prepare for the final exam, of course, to go as it is scheduled throughout the semester, and to do or redo good exam assignments, and of course go to the subject outline and see the sample exam and the resources for the and answers for the sample exam, and that would be the best thing that you can do, apart from working all the way through consistently each week few hours for this subject. I know that you have more than this subject. So about our topic 4, human capital, and which is related to last question for the second assignment, I will tell you a few things, and I will upload. I prepared the slide. I will upload this slide to our resources folder, so you can see what we were talking. Because I know that you cannot see it properly here, and either because of small fonts, or although I have that on the computer, I will be showing on the computer because the screen is bigger than this piece of paper, but this piece of paper will be uploaded to our resource folder. What is human capital? Tell me, what would you understand if I ask you, what is your personal human capital? What do you think? Okay, I will tell you from my perspective. My human capital, my personal human capital, is, for example, my knowledge, my other characteristics that they are specific for myself. For example, my inheritance, my origin, you probably noticed that my English is third language. Yeah, English is really third language. After my native tongue, I learned Swedish, and English is the third language. So it is part of my human capital. Then my skills. Whatever you might think specifically related to yourself is part of your human capital. Here we move from those particular personal characteristics of human capital, if you like, and we will be talking about education as the biggest part of human capital, and the investment in education as investing in human capital. As of course, obviously, you already invested in your education, being a tertiary student. So you know what I'm talking about if I say that we will be talking about your case. How you decided 2 years ago or something, how you decided to invest in your human capital. Did you calculate it? Let me go for a second to my computer that went sleeping mode. How you decided to invest in human capital? Have you calculated return on your investment? Have you calculated using present value formula to invest and find out that investing present value of your investment is more than zero, so it is profitable to invest, or you use something else, or you just did it. You had gut feeling that if you invest in education, you will get promotion, you will get increase in salary, and which is perfectly fine. Most of the economics, as in my first recording I mentioned a few times, economics tools and applications, and most people are applying regardless of their knowledge of what they are doing, or if they have formal education in economics. So yeah, you were right. Most empirical studies has shown that investing in education is profitable investment. Investing in human capital is profitable investment. Part of the, you might also already invested in other sections or sectors of human capital. For example, travels. You went overseas for 2 months, 3 months, for a year. If you use gap year after your high school, and you just imagine or picture what you brought back, what is the experience that you brought back, that you can do different things in more efficient way, or you can in different way. At least you find out, for example, in Latin America, that they are doing something different that we are doing here, and it could be more practical, more efficient, or something like that. So that all of this is are investments in human capital. Your health is also a part of the human capital. If you are, for example, if you are taking supplements, you are investing in your health. If you are not smoking, you have done very good thing for your health, and you are investing by not spending that money. If you want monetary value to it, by not spending money there, you are investing in something else. You can use that savings from not smoking to go to Europe for at least 2 weeks. So all of those are investment in human capital, and your personal human capital, and your experience and education and health and all other things. One particular part of the human capital is your talents. I like to mention talents because I always tell my students that, you know, whatever they are talented in, and that's talent should be understood as the obligation, not to just say I am talented in something and I sit back and wait something to happen and to be recognized for the certain talent. All of your talents are your obligations. You have to use them, you have to expand them, you have to work on them. So how you decided to invest in education in this instance, and how you can formally check your investment if you haven't used present value formula, how you can now apply that and see if I'm right saying that investment in education is profitable investment or not. So it is a very simple formula. What is that present value formula? $1, as you know, that there is a time preference. Humans prefer to have $1 now than $1 in 1 year. So to calculate what is, if we are investing, what is our return in 1 year, or what is worth present value, what is worth $1 in 1 year. And we will take, for this example, for example, 10% interest rate. So if I invest $1 today, in 1 year, it's with 10%, it's $1.10. So, or the other way around, following our formula, $1.10 in 1 year from now is worth $1 now. So to find the present value, we discount the future values, or future $1, discount by the current interest rate. So it is very simple. And if we find that current value of $1 is more than 0, then it is profitable investment, or it would be profitable to invest now $1 with 10% interest rate in our example. So let me show you the formula. As you can see, the formula for the present value is V sub P equal V1 divided by 1 plus I, where the present value is value in 1 year discounted by principal 1 plus interest rate. And the decision rule is that if present value is more than 0, then it is profitable to invest in whatever you are investing, but we are talking about investing in human capital. So the I is interest rate, V sub 1 is value of $1 1 year from now, and V sub P is present value, for example $1 today. So it's also called present value formula or discount formula because we are discounting future values by the interest rate. The other formula for, apart from present value, the other formula that we have below is so-called internal rate of return. Internal rate of return is asking, it is almost the same, but asking different type of question. By definition, the internal rate of return is the rate of discount. So in present value, rate of discount was interest rate. Here we are talking about rate of discount at which the net present value of human capital investment will be 0. So instead of using the interest rate, like in present value, to calculate the net present value is positive or negative, we have to equalize, if you like, that present value to future cost in benefit to the net present value to be equal to 0. So the difference between present value and internal rate of, we are looking for present value to be larger than 0. Here we are looking at discount, which is to the broadly it is the same as the in previous case, but we are equalizing that present value or discounted rate, we are equalizing to 0. And if we R is the difference between R, which is interest rate, and I, which is interest rate. The difference between those two is that R is the maximum interest rate that you can pay or get paid, and I is market interest rate. If R, the decision rule for applying internal rate of return is if R is larger than current interest rate, then it is profitable to invest in education. So basically it means like this: if current interest rate is 10%, and if you are investing $1 and you are getting 15% return on that investment, then it is profitable to invest in human capital. And the other way around, if you are investing $1 and maximum that you can get out of that investment is 5% and the current interest rate is 10%, then you won't invest in education or other forms of human capital, but you will go to the market and invest in the market with the interest rate of 10%. The below is the interesting graph. To prove that you are doing rightly with your investment in education, here we have the annual earnings, sort of economic model of investing in human capital. If on the horizontal axis we have the age, for example, from 18 years, 22 years until 65, which is retirement age, and on the vertical axis we have annual earnings. So if you decide, if you have decided to go after high school when you are 18 to go straight into the labor market, this would be your earning during your career. But if you, as you are, decided to invest in education, you are incurring not only indirect costs, but you are incurring direct costs like paying for the subject fees and tuition fees and all other costs related to this course. So you are in minus for direct cost, plus you also incurred indirect cost, which are lost earnings. Instead of being employed, you are doing education. So you lost certain earnings for a few years doing this course if you are not working. But after that, your annual earnings are larger, and over period after you graduate, over period until you retire, than if you went straight after the school, you went into the labor market. So that's the model which is statistically or empirically proven that investing in human capital is very much profitable. On that note, I would finish. Last time I had problems uploading this recording, so it's already 33 minutes. So I will stop here, and as usual, needless to say, you can call me, you can send messages, you can ask any question over our discussion forum and all other things. Thank you very much and good luck. Keep doing good job. Thank you.